What's going on, everybody out there? It's your guy Q, the movie collector here again, back with a end of the year video. On today's video, we're going to talk about my personal top 10 labels of 2025. Now, I want to just stress along that oftentimes in this community, we tend to fanboy out a lot. I'm not really a fanboy. I'll get into that conversation a little later. But this is my personal list. It's not something to really go off on to say that this is factual information because you all can have a completely different list than what I have. And when I was compiling this list this morning, I was going back and forth on where I would think I would rank these labels. And even now, I'm still struggling because I'm surrounded by movies right now, and I really, honest to God, I really just don't know which one to go after as far as like being my number 10 or my number 6 or whatnot. So I'm just gonna wing it. I've done what I could at this point. So let's get it started. Coming in at number 10, before I get into that number 10, I want to actually point out some honorable mentions. Paramount is an honorable mention. I think what Paramount has done this year has been by far a complete turnaround of things they've done in the past few years. I mean, to be honest with you, they're one of the only boutique labels now, not boutique, sorry, labels around right now that still provide slipcovers for their standard releases. Um, I go off to say this. I mean, they still do a really great job on some of their restorations. Now, there's been some. No, maybe I'm thinking of Universal. Yeah, Universal is who I'm thinking of. I know at Universal with some of their restorations this year, they haven't really been much to squawk at about. I mean, but when I think about Paramount, um, one of the ones that stick out to me is I've got an upcoming review on Minority Report. I thought Minority Report looked amazing. There's another one, Aya and Flux. That's another really good one they came out with. Another really good honorable mention would be 101. Believe it or not, 101 has been doing a pretty great job this year. I think what they've done is like they've compiled some older movies and um, made them into really nice releases, like such as Tourist Trap, such as like Tourist Trap here. I just really think with their releases, they've been doing a pretty stellar job with their stuff. And I know Umbrella has their version of this coming out soon. I'm just gonna leave that there. so so there's that. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the top 10. So my number 10, um, I've been going back and forth about this. I mean, seriously, it's been a really hard decision on who's gonna be number 10 for me. Um, it's between two labels. Okay, I'll just go and say it. Number 10 is Umbrella. Um, I think what Umbrella's done this year, as far as their releases, like here's my release of Black Sheep. so they would have been a little bit higher. I mean, I don't really collect a whole lot of Umbrella releases. But I know they do a fantastic job with their releases from the packaging and everything. And here's Freaked, which they really have been doing a really stellar job every year, year in and year out. My main thing about Umbrella, they don't really do a whole lot that appeal to me. That doesn't necessarily mean that they won't appeal to you all. They have a really nice selection of movies. I think they had Dust Devil and a few others. I know they really tend to really cater to the Australian audience more than anything. I mean, there's that really nice Dogma set that they just released, which I think was phenomenal. Um, but I have the Lionsgate Limited, which I'll get into that later. But for me, honestly, it's more than just the packaging for me. I look at it from, you know, the film itself, special features, etc. Umbrella really do pack a lot of their stuff with a lot of really great material. I just feel like they really pack a lot of it with when I watched Freak, for example, when I went into the special features, they had an essay with my guy from Steelbook Obsessed on there. And then the other stuff they had was kind of like, dailies. They really put a lot of dailies into their stuff. And that's like a lot of material I'm not really interested in. But other than that, they do a stellar job with their releases. I mean, I take nothing away from Umbrella. They do a fantastic job. So that's my number 10. Number 10 is Umbrella. Um, number nine. Number nine, number nine, number nine. Number nine would have to be number nine would have to be Scream and Shout Factory. And the reason why I put them a little lower um this year is because I just felt like with their output, there really hasn't really been a whole lot compared to years past. And that may be because of their new business venture with them joining up with Groove. But they did have some really awesome standouts. Like, for example, the What Lies Beneath release. I feel like this one, I mean, they had a really, really awesome documentary on there that would put to shame a lot of different special features from a lot of other brand labels. But I felt like this was a really great standout. And then part of their shout section, they've had Sky Captain in the World Tomorrow. They've had Bring It On. And then they did something really cool this year. They've gone back, even though you don't get the Blu-ray release, they've done Sleepaway Camp 2 and Sleepaway Camp 3 in 4K, which I thought was cool because I always wanted those Blu-ray releases, but I wasn't willing to pay those outrageous reseller fees. Then they had Nosferatu, uh, the older Nosferatu movie, which I think, what was the other label that made this? Who was it? I forgot the name of that other boutique label, but apparently this is the superior restoration cut of the movie compared to that one. We also got End of Days with Arnold, so we got that as well. There was a few others like The Gray. I think that's the name of it, The Gray. Um, and some of the other ones I didn't get. I got Rabbit on the way, for example. I don't have it in my possession right now. But what they did also that I thought was really cool, most people don't really give them enough credit for it. They've started this new line called the Hong Kong Classics. And I picked up the Better Tomorrow trilogy, which these are all 4Ks. Um, Hard Boiled. Whoops, get in there. Hard Boiled. Which, by the way, man, mind you, they started incorporating books and then, the case itself into a hard shelled case there. So you got that with Hard Boiled, and then you have The Killer, which I thought this was really unique. I've always wanted some John Woo movies in 4K, and those are really stellar, beautiful releases there. Didn't get a chance to review those this year. I may still review it somewhere down the road. Who knows? But I thought they were fantastic releases from them nonetheless. But yeah, that is Scream Shout Factory at number 9. So let me put this over here. And then at my number 8. Number 8. Number 8 would have to be. This is where things get a little tough for me, honestly. They really do. Number 8 would be Kino. I did originally have Kino placed a little higher on the list, but just really looking down at these releases that I've got, there's some I did really truly forget about from certain labels that they had really great releases, and somewhere down the line they kind of fell off. But anyway, Kino. Kino kind of started off the year with a very controversial release here. That was of of Daylight. If you guys were able to get your hands on this was pretty controversial. Some people loved it, some people hated it, but the biggest controversial thing about this is they put it out there and then they yanked it off the shelves. So there's Daylight. You had The Peacemaker. You also had Dogtooth. I was going to review this, but I decided not to because I just really can't explain what I saw with this movie. I guess I have to watch it a second time to really get the gist of it. But there's that. And then we got The Rundown, Rampage. Like I said, they just keep flowing. They just keep flowing. Knife the Juggler, even though I know that I think was it Imprint that did their release on it. It was a pretty big set. You got this. You've got The Bone Collector. And then last but not least, man, this is one thing that I feel like most people don't give Kino enough credit for. They're the one label doing the Lord's work when it comes to comedy 4Ks. So this year alone, we got Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, which, by the way, those are stellar 4K releases. Don't let anyone tell you any different. You got Kingpin. You got Coneheads. And then you also got Wayne's World 2, as well as Road Trip, which you guys saw my reviews on these movies, and I absolutely love the release on this. But then they also released, the sequel to Chinatown, which Paramount didn't do, strangely enough. They did package the Blu-ray of this movie in that Paramount Presents release of it, but I don't think they put it into the newly packaged 4K version of it, but that's two Jakes in 4K. So they did put this out, which is a nice companion to Chinatown. And then one of my favorites, Undisputed. So, I mean, Kino did a great job this year. I don't care what anybody says. They talk all the crap you want to talk about with Kino. I love Kino to death. That's just my personal opinion. They really come out with a lot of really great stuff. But that's Kino Lorber at number 8. And then at number 7, now we're getting into nitty gritty of things right now. So at number 7, and like I said, I've gone back and forth with this plenty of times. I mean, a lot before I even hit record on this video. But my number 7 would have to be, let me get this out, because depending on how people are going to see this, I know we've got our fanboys out there. But number 7 is going to be Vinegar Syndrome. I love Vinegar Syndrome to death. This year, I really felt like it's been an off year for Vinegar Syndrome. But even in their off year, they've come out with some really great stuff. We got Dirty Work. This was a great, fantastic release. They patched together some scenes that wasn't in the original release and just made it into a really nice uncut version. They did a lot of really great work with this. That's one thing you can't take away from Vinegar Syndrome is the amount of work they put into their restorations and the stuff they also package with it. We also got Let's Scare Jessica to Death. Make sure you guys check out my review on this. We also got William Friedkin's Jade. Fantastic release. And then we also got, I think this is a Romero, The Dark Half. We got this as well. And then we also got, let me see, I'm going to take this out because I don't want to get in trouble for it. We also got Murder Rock. It came in a nicer release, but I can't show the whole thing on here, so we got that as well. There's The Resurrected. Great release here. And then as far as the VSU line, I would say probably the only one that I truly enjoyed out of the VSU line this year was The Golden Child. I think that came out this year. I think it came out this year. I could be wrong. But it was The Golden Child. I really enjoyed this one. The other two, which was Mac and Me and Garbage Pail Kids, they're not anything to squawk at, but because I get a lot of FOMO when it comes to my VSU collecting habits, I've got to have them. So guilty as charged, by the way. Close Range from their Cinematograph, gang related as well from their Cinematograph. Now, there was one release that I was really disappointed by from Vinegar Syndrome, and that was Brave Shikari 2. Now, I thought the transfer looked absolutely fantastic. The one thing that really just took me back and it had me feeling a little bit more like, they're starting to become a little bit more like Scream Factory in regards, but they didn't really put a lot of special features with this, which was really shocking. I was really shocked by this, and this is one of my favorite Carrie movies. I was really shocked by that. But they ended the year, like I said again, they ended the year with Garbage Pail Kids, Troll 2. If you know, you know, it's kind of like a classic. And the Stendhal Syndrome, Dario Argento. But I know a lot of people don't like the later Argento films. That one's one of the good ones, in my opinion. So at number 7, that's Vinegar Syndrome. So at number six. I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this. I just know I am. But again, people, this is my personal list. This is my personal opinion behind all of this. And number 6 is Second Sight. Yeah, I'm going there with it. I'm going there with it. Um, Second Sight started the year off hella strong, man. They had Cronenberg scanners in 4K. They also put out Cronenberg's The Brood in 4K as well. Which there was already a 4K of this release, and there's some of these I haven't broke open yet. Just I haven't had, I haven't felt the need to watch them just yet. I gotta be in the mood to watch certain things. When Evil Lurks, 4K of this, which we already got a 4K of that from gosh, what was the name of that label? Here in the States, but it was like a bare bones 4K. Second Sight did a phenomenal job with that release. We got the Innkeepers in 4K. We also got the Florida Project in 4K. And then they ended the year off with something that we have been waiting years for. And that's this beautiful, fantastic Possession 4K. And I don't know about you guys, but I always feel like the ones they really put they put everything into, they always incorporate it when you know it's a true Second Sight job with the hardbound books. They always incorporate it with those hardbound books. Which same thing goes for the Nice Guys, Florida Project. They also did House of the Devil, the Coffee Table. Second Sight is a great, great label. I love Second Sight to death. But I felt like, for me personally, it just felt like a lot of, rehash releases that, and I know that's kind of like the thing that goes on these days where, in one territory they release a 4K and then in another territory they borrow that same 4K restoration, throw it on their label and then add their own little tweaks and special features to it. But to me, I know a lot of people have been making videos saying that this was Second Sight's greatest year. I mean, if you're a fan of those releases that they've come out with, I can see that easily being their best year. But for me personally, I just feel like there was so much more that came out this year that did not come from Second Sight that I felt like was a much better release. And again, I judge my list based on the movies themselves, not necessarily the packaging. I mean, if this was a list based on packaging alone, I would say Second Sight would have easily jumped up to my number 2 or my number 1. But for me personally, it's more than just about the packaging. I cannot stress that enough. But Second Sight is my number 6. I love Second Sight. I love them. That don't mean they're crap. They make really, really great releases. And I look forward to what they've got in store for us next year, which I think they're doing one of my favorite movies that came out this year, and that was The Ugly Stepsister. So I can't wait to see their edition of that. Like, I think it was Turbine. I didn't buy their release of their Ugly Stepsister, and I held out for theirs. So yeah, I'm definitely still a Second Sight fan. I just don't want anyone looking at my list thinking that, oh my God, he just crapped on Second Sight. That's totally not the case, guys. Not the case. But they did arrive on my top 10. So again, Second Sight, number 6. And at number 5, we're really getting down to it. So I'm looking off to my right. This is my top 5 over here. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is my top 5. At number 5, and also I wanted to stress this too. This is not necessarily a top 10, a boutique release. This is like my top 10 labels, period, this year. So um number 5 would have to be Warner Brothers. Yeah, I know that comes as a shock because I know a lot of, top 10 lists. A lot of people like to really talk about boutique labels. And again, I don't like putting things into a box. At the end of the day, they're all going on my shelf. So number 5 was Warner Brothers. They came out with Pale Rider, The Outlaw Josie Wells, and where's the other one at? Thought I pulled it off the shelf too. I guess I didn't. Or did I? Did I pull it? Oh yeah, right here. It just wasn't in my pile. And then Dirty Harry. So we got these as well. The 3 really great Clint Eastwood movies. I would say this year has been kind of like the year of Clint Eastwood. Trust me, this ain't the last time you'll see Clint movies on this list. So you got those. And then they incorporate the new stuff that released this year, which you got Weapons, which I didn't get the 4K steelbook of it, but the standard is still great. Has same special features. That's another thing. You got boutique labels right now that's doing, boutique. I meant regular labels. You got them doing just as great of a job as special features these days as the boutiques. So they're learning from the boutiques to start, package them full of special features. So you got the Corpse Bride, and I didn't get the set of it, but you got all the Bond movies, the Sean Connery Bond movies. So you got all of those. Got those on sale during Black Friday, $13 a piece. So you got F1, fantastic release as well. And then you also got some classics. I mean, you've got One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and then the latest release, Boogie Nights. I cannot wait to watch this and review this. Super excited about this. I mean, this was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. But yeah, number 5 was Warner Brothers. Which brings me to number 4. Now we're getting to where things are getting a little easier for me. All right, so now we're getting into number 4. So I know you gotta be thinking, he's let out some pretty big names there already. What could be in his top 4? So number 4, and let me say this before I list my number 4. A year ago and probably years leading up to this year, you would have never thought this label would end up in the top 10 of anybody's labels. Regardless of what you tend to think about them as far as the pricing, the releases, the way they've been doing their releases, I hate to say it, man, but they've been doing the Lord's work with their releases. And this is actually tied into 2 labels in one. So I'm going to say my number 4 is Disney and Sony. So this year we have seen them come out with Master and Commander in 4K. We're getting some really nice releases this year that we would have never thought in a long time we would ever see 4Ks from. Disney, of all people, Disney. We've got the original Tron in 4K. We've got Tron Legacy in 4K. We also got Tombstone, the biggest shocker of them all. And I will go on to say this, man. Like, honestly, this was actually like, it was announced and then it literally came out like 3 or 4 weeks later. Shocker, I know. In limited capacities, I mean, that's the one big negative drawback I will say about Disney. and Sony for that matter, is that they make them limited, but man, they bring them back out. Um, this was one that was a huge shocker this year. I don't care what anyone says. No one would have ever thought we would see Tombstone in 4K. I mean, seriously, honestly, seriously, really, really great stuff. I didn't get the steelbook to it, but I got the overseas release to it. But that's Kingdom of Heaven. Got that as well. We got Roger Hammer. I forgot who pronounced Hammerstein's Sound of Music. Classic, classic, classic. And then lately, we just got the 4K release of Anaconda. We got that as well. We got Silverado, which I think this was already out, but I think the steelbook release actually gave the Dolby Vision transfer to it, so that's quick and dead. And then we also got the Rocky Horror Picture Show in 4K. Come on, guys. Come on. And ending it off, we got Edward Scissorhands in 4K. I just watched this last night, and this was awesome. Sorry about the dogs, guys. But yeah, Sony/Disney is my number 4 of this year. And, I hope that they learn from the limited releases, that they do better with their limited capacity and just pump out more quantities of their releases. Now, one thing I will say, the special features aren't really anything to write home about with those releases. I mean, they're just legacy special features, but for somebody who's never owned them, I thought they did their job. They honestly did their job. But yeah, Sony Disney gets number 4 for me. I'll fight you over it. 3. This label showed up and showed out this year. And if it wasn't for the other 2 above it on my list, they would be number 1. And this was their first year actually doing things on their own, mixed in with a few Amazon exclusives, and normal, regular, standard releases. Number 3 is going to be Lionsgate Limited. I mean, they started off the year with some Tarantino heavy hitters. Kill Bill Volume 2, Kill Bill Volume 1, and Jackie Brown. Fantastic releases. And then they started spreading out even more love with the recently The Descent. We also got Dogma in 4K. Battle Royale. And keep in mind too, there's a few others I'm not gonna have to show up here. Like they also did The Home, Knock Knock, Daybreakers, and like I said, a few Amazon exclusives as well. Their release of Frailty, I mean, they put it into a chunky box. I mean, what more can you ask from them? You got Frailty, and then you also got Jacob's Ladder. And then you also have Ending the Year Strong, American Psycho. Now, there is a little bit of controversy going on with this release right now. If you did pre-order this and it came out to you, I think the original 4K disc the older 4K disc came inside the set, but I think Lionsgate is actually automatically sending out the disc that was supposed to be included with this release. But still, honestly, that doesn't take away from how amazing they did with this set. Now they also, with those releases, they put in all the legacy stuff, but they also, for each of those, they also did brand new special features for those releases. So they knocked it out, man. They knocked it out. They're my ultimate number 3. I don't think anyone did as much of a finer job as Lionsgate Limited. That is one company that kind of like learned and observed things going on with the releases from different labels, and they kind of made it their own. And when they ship it to you, man, they ship it pretty packaged up pretty well. They ship it kind of like similar if you were buying from Orbit DVD or Monster Mall or Movie Room. They package it extremely well inside those boxes. So Lionsgate Limited, I'm looking forward to next year because I think next month we getting Cabin Fever in 4K, the original Cabin Fever. So, but yeah, they've been killing it, man. Love Lionsgate Limited. That's my number three. That's my number three. And my number two. Um, I'm not a snob. Um, and I'm not the world's biggest fan of this brand, but they made a lot of noise this year. They made a lot of noise. It was almost kind of like they were coming in strong to say, hey, we're the originators of this. We got to show and prove. That's how I kind of felt about their releases this year. They really came out strong. And typically, I'm not a huge fan of the movies they put out um, year in and year out. But this year, they absolutely freaking killed it. I mean, you can't you you can't not say that they haven't done great this year. My number two is the Criterion Collection. We got a childhood favorite of mine in The Wiz. We also got History of Violence. Check out my review on this. We got Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut in 4K. We got Pee-wee's Big Adventure in 4K. Review coming soon on this, by the way. We got the Twin Peaks Fire Walk With Me 4K. We got the definitive release of Nightmare Alley. Say what you want. This is the definitive release of it because you're getting the normal 4K as well as the exclusive black and white 4K of this in this release. You got Barry Lyndon as well. Man, they even came out with a 4K to Spinal Tap. And to really end things off with how they done things this year, they came out with probably my favorite set out of any of the labels this year. And that was the Wes Anderson collection. This is nice. This is nice. If you're going to do a collection of any director, this is the way you do it. This is absolutely the way you do it. I mean, the releases, I've shown you guys this before. It's nice. It is really, really nice. Now, I will say, to save you a few bucks, if I were you and you were interested in this, don't buy it at normal price point. But even if you were to purchase it at normal price point, it's well worth the price of admission. Hopefully Criterion continues their streak of what they've done this year. I mean, yeah, they had some of their other, indie titles that no one talks about or anyone that's really interested in. Of course, they still had those mixed in the bag, but they had some heavy, heavy hitters this year. And I hope that continues next year because that was incredible. What I would love to see them do next year, in all honesty, I would love to see them do a 4K of Armageddon. I think that's like the number one thing on anyone's list when it comes to Criterion, that they do a 4K of Armageddon. But yeah, Criterion, they killed it this year. They absolutely killed it this year. In my opinion, they killed it this year. But yeah, so now we have arrived at number one. This is not a shocker. And I said in the beginning that if I was the fanboy for any label, it would be this one. I think for a lot of people every single year, they're number one. They've been number one on a lot of people's lists for like the past 3 or 4 years. But they're number one on my list. It's my first list I'm ever doing on YouTube. And that is Arrow. That shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody. They released their version of Zombie or Zombie Flesh Eaters. They did a really remarkable job on the Dollars trilogy. I reviewed each one of these. This is a fantastic release of all 3 movies. Like I said, that last little iteration, I told you guys this wasn't the last time you guys were going to see Clint Eastwood on this list. So you got those three. Um, and then they took basically say, okay, you know what? Vinegar Syndrome has their little partnership with Shudder, where we got ours too. They did Deadstream. They did Hellbender. They did Perpetrator as well. Then we got 4K releases of The Cobra, The Stuff, and some of my favorite 4K transfers of the year. You got Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning and the 2006, I think it's 2006, Texas Chainsaw remake. You got Spawn, which I know you guys have probably seen my review. If you haven't, check out my review below. They did Spawn. And then they ended with Wild Style, a hip hop classic. You got The Mask as well, classic. You've got Return of the Living Dead. Now, even though this is a UK release, we do have the Shout Factory release that came out years ago. But I really wanted to get this because I really love Return of the Living Dead. Fantastic release. Love the artwork on this. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think, gosh, I forgot what his name was. But yeah, he did the art on this. And then you also got a John Carpenter classic, In the Mouth of Madness. You got this as well. So there's that. Miss 45. Like I said, they hit on all cylinders. And then they end the year off with probably my favorite release from them, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trilogy. I mean, this tugs at heartstrings unlike you would believe. I've got another one of these I'm giving away during my live stream on New Year's Eve, so make sure you stay tuned to that. If you want this, put Turtle Power in the bottom in the comments. Let me know if you want to be entered. So there's that. Well, that concludes my top 10 of the year, my first top 10 of the year of labels. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys have a top 10, let me know what your top 10s are below in the comments. And I want to just say to everyone that's become a subscriber this year on my channel, I definitely do appreciate it. It means the world to me that you guys tune in to watch my content, no matter how late or delayed I am on putting out material. I appreciate each and every last one of you guys. I try to respond to every comment that I can, and I appreciate the likes and everything too. So here's on to 2026. Another amazing year that we've got coming up, and until next time, people. And also, if you guys are just checking this out for the first time, make sure you like and comment, and also subscribe to the channel. It means the world to me. So, and until next time, people, I will chat to you guys later. Peace.